Greetings, everybody. We're having a special edition of Marketing Smarties as we test Google Plus event pages coming back. They returned on the 24th, a few days ago. And we planned this event so we can experiment and see what things they might have changed, which doesn't seem to be much, whether they integrate well with the new Google Plus, and how it benefits us and how it's different from what it used to be, and just to see what's going on. And so we've done this, and with me today are Bill Graham, Lowell Ann Fulsang, and Andrew Hatchett. And we won't go through the full introductions and stuff, but these are people who have been with me almost every week on Saturday morning Marketing Smarties, analyzing what's going on with Hangouts. Hang on now, I've got my live broadcasts of the Hangout going live, and so I'm creating my own echo effect. But anyway, we have a few people probably watching. It looks like 3 viewers, but they're probably all in the green room. But the test itself today is to see what's going on with Google Plus event pages. And I personally am thrilled that they've come back, and hopefully they'll be very, very handy. The one thing, I'm going to refresh my event page right now. By the way, if you're on the event page that says SMM Smarties or hashtag SMM Smarties testing event pages, you're almost there. And you can actually watch the video on that page. Let me confirm that.
Yes, I'm watching it.
Yeah, it looks like it's good. And that's fine. You'll be able to watch it. But if you want to participate in comments, and we really do want your feedback, please go to the second page, which is the link in the comment stream on that first page. Click that link and go to the other page, and I can see Michael Thomas, and of course Andrew checked in early and confirmed that it's a full-on connection. Wake checked in and said that he may be able to show up, but at least we know that people are getting notifications. So does anyone have any initial comment regarding what they see in our Smarties event pages? One thing that I noticed right off the bat is that the connection on the right-hand side of events, that's usually a stream of your participating Google Plus people, notifications, messaging, and all that stuff. All that thing is completely missing from my event page. Is it in yours also?
No,
in other words,
I'm seeing the guests and the maybes, and I'm seeing the button that says invite more.
Sure.
I'm seeing your description.
But to the right of that column, there's an entire column that's usually the contacts that are live on Google Plus at the moment. And they have nothing to do necessarily with the event page or the event itself.
Oh,
and to me, I've got a blank spot.
That used to be something you could turn on and off. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I didn't do anything to it. I've never in my life turned it off, but it's not there.
No. No, it's not.
Isn't that funny? All right, so that's something that we're noticing. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and share it so it's part of the video itself. And Lowell Ann, I know your time is short, so please line up whatever observations or questions that you might have, and we're going to give you first chair here. But anyway, this is my actual event page that I'm showing, and the way it sits, you can see that the video is playing, everything's functioning as it should, and there it is. I'm going to freeze it for now, though, and you can see the comments. So Andrew's commenting, Michael Thomas is commenting, and the one thing that I know is that the system connects the way it's supposed to connect, or at least it appears to be connecting the way it's supposed to. One of the things that we lost with event pages when they went away last June is that the notifications and the invitations to your events was gone. We assumed forever. And when they brought back event pages on the 24th, this is what I looked forward to, being able to invite people. And what I noticed, and I'll take it off screen share now, what I noticed immediately is that I've got the ability to invite people via my circles in a very simple way that they're very used to, and that they used to respond to well. I used to have 20, 30, 40 people in some of my Hangouts on air when I had an event that I ceased to be able to do when the event pages went away. I could not notify and invite them as effectively as from the event page. So apparently we have that option renewed, and that's my biggest plus to this whole thing. Now the objective is, do I use event pages in lieu of what we've been doing with our VCP plugin? And is it a competitor for my concept? And you know, what are the pluses and minuses? Roland, do you have any comments at this point?
I sure do. Well, first of all, I want everybody to know I'm a G Suite subscriber. Prior and that I became a G Suite subscriber maybe a month ago or so. However, when Google Plus changed to the new Google Plus, I moved over to the new. Okay. And during that time, when somebody sent an event invitation from the old, it would post to my calendar in a most frustrating and inconvenient way. It would post a picture, but when I clicked in my calendar, it would just bring up an error. So all it was a picture that appeared in my calendar. So now, so that was happening before I became a G Suite subscriber. I was I guess I was called a legacy Google Apps subscriber before, which made everything I was doing similar to just being a private subscriber. So for the last number of months since we changed, you know, there was that switch between the old Google Plus and the new Google Plus. I found those calendar entries of real frustration, because they were there. I couldn't get rid of them, and I couldn't do anything with them. I couldn't go to anything.
Okay, I have a question for you regarding what you're describing. Did the problem, wow, got a severe echo going on. I don't have any speakers on, so I don't know where the echo is coming from. Somebody's got live speakers. But anyway, the question I have is, was your condition of the frustration that you're describing with G Plus Suite, was it the same before June last year as it is now?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
So it changed when June came along and they did the big switch. Your conditions changed, and the G Suite users then had a problem with the notifications and all that stuff in the calendar.
Yeah. So here's the I mean, you invited me to throw out a question. So my question is, why would I, if I'm trying to direct people to participate in my Hangouts on my webpage using your plugin, which is a really, really good experience, why would I be excited about the return of Google events, Google Plus events?
You might not. And if you have,
exciting for me at all.
See, for me, I'm really excited. Andrew, go ahead.
The main thing would be if you have a large Google following. You can use it to create the event, turn off the comments, just put the event is going to be held here, put the link to your web page, but it's an easy way to contact all the people that you know on Google Plus. Not necessarily for the others, but it's a great way to have your Google people get over to your web page, because they know what an event
Exactly.
page is. They go there, there's one link, they click on it, there's your website.
It's basically tapping into the tradition of what they're used to and familiar with, and it's simple. There's nothing to setting up an event page anymore. When we first started doing it, I was like, wow, how do you do this? I'm confused and this and that, and there are all these things. But at this point, it's second nature. So we are proof that using them can be very effective, and it's not that hard. So it's what people are used to, and they can easily fall into and tap into and say, okay, I can do this. I know what to do. I can follow suit. And the objective has always been to direct people to the website. So whether before, when we were using the Google Plus event pages, we didn't have the ability to run a better event on our website than we had in Google Plus. Google Plus still ruled because that was the best event engagement that we were going to get. And the VCP plugin, the idea is, let's have a better engagement factor in the website, or a better viewing audience experience in the website than we have in Google Plus. So that's the second half of the comparison for today.
As well as there are other features too with the automatic adding to your calendar. Now I know in your case, Roland, it's not working for you, but for the majority of people, it will put it on the calendar, and it allows the host to send reminders.
Yeah.
All of which are beneficial to bring your audience in and remind them.
So
So
one
I
of the
would
things
compare
is that
an invitation to a wedding. I mean, you send out an invitation, you give an address as to where the church is, you give an address as to where the reception is. When you go to the invitation, you click on the link that brings people into the website. So you're only using it as an invitation, not as an event itself.
But people will still be able to watch the event, watch the hangout on the event page. And
Yes,
absolutely.
but they won't be able to participate.
That's where they'll watch it rather than going to your website.
Not
Yeah,
if they want to participate.
And here's what I'm thinking there. If they feel comfortable in the event page, they like the idea of being in Google Plus and not being on your website, for whatever reason that will be. I'm not exactly sure. But if they prefer that, that's not an insult to me. That's absolutely fine. And if they're watching the show and they're seeing that we're posting comments on the screen from comment tracking, and then they say, where are these comments coming from? If they get that curious, they're going to say, I think I'm going to go check the web page out. Well, that's the objective. So, but I'm not going to complain if people watch the show and get something out of it wherever they are, in YouTube even, wherever it is, watch the show. I hope you like the show. I mean, if the show's not worth watching, none of this matters anyway. But I mean, if you're running a good show, if you're delivering good information, we need to give them the very best opportunity possible. So let's compare now. Here's the event. I'm going to share my screen again. And
let's face it, the people that are coming to your event are coming because they want to participate. If they don't want to participate, they're going to watch the replay.
very true. And okay, so here's the event page. It's not complete. I don't have a banner and so forth. But in comparison, let's go ping pong between the event page and my website event page. So I'm going to go back to the G Plus event page here. 1, 2, 3. All right. So at this point, we're assuming that maybe the stream on the right-hand side may be replaced and all the contacts in Google Plus may reappear. And although really those things were a distraction to me, mouse over it and the profiles pop up and all kinds of stuff. So I don't necessarily want that to come back, but if they do, whatever. What's up, Andrew? Oh, your microphone's off.
I was just waving goodbye to Roland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Roland, was there anything before you leave?
No, I don't think so. It will just make a lot of inconvenience for the numbers of people who are on G Suite.
And I know that we don't have an exact, let me drop off the share for a second. We don't have an exact number of the people who are on G Suite, but I don't want to say, oh, I don't care about the G Suite people. I want to find a way to connect with them so that they can have a lucrative way of saying, I want to participate in Smarties. How do I do it? Well, it doesn't stop you from watching the YouTube video, but I want to be able to connect with you and say, you 5% or whatever you are, here's my invitation that is just as equitable for you as it is for everybody else that I contact. And then they can come to the website and watch the video and participate in the comments if they want to. So
okay, I have one last question and then I'm going to go.
Okay.
So if I'm a G Suite and my world is in Google Plus as a G Suite person, how will I even see the event things that occur? And other than a non-functional thing that will show up in my calendar, which will not direct me anywhere. So how will I even find the place to watch?
Bill has most of the best.
Unless I keep going into my other account and checking to see whether there's anything going on over there.
Yeah,
so it just means that I'm going to have to juggle 2 accounts when I really don't want to.
Yeah, but that's not all of our problem. That's partly Google and Google Plus and
absolutely
problem.
Absolutely.
But if we lose 5%, so be it. You know, if I lose you because of that, that's something that I have to live with.
You have to decide whether that matters or not.
Yeah. And if it does, I mean, literally, if I lost you, I'd be pinging you directly and saying, Roland, come to the show. It's Saturday morning.
Yeah.
You know,
okay,
which I do anyway.
I must go. Sorry.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you. I appreciate you coming by.
And I would suggest if you're a G Suite owner or a G Suite person and you follow these types of events, it might be prudent to open a separate personal account, separate of G Suite, and subscribe to these events that way. And then you will get notifications and you will get invitations. And I mean, if that's too much effort, then it's too much effort. But that's the world of Google, in my opinion. You have to adapt. You can't complain.
Yeah, I think that's the internet world. It's impossible to get everyone. And some of it is we just have to, you know, let it go and suffice it to say this is pretty good and that's as good as we can get. But I mean, when considering that what I'm instigating here is for people to take out a hosting account, get a domain, set up a free WordPress setup, connect with my plugin, and do Google Hangouts on air through YouTube Live. I haven't talked them into spending more than about $100 a year, you know, to do everything that I'm talking about, to be in YouTube, to be in Hangouts, to be in your own website. Base cost is about $100, and you know, the second year is probably $120. But that's for your domain, that's for your hosting and the whole bit. And then there's a lot of stuff you have to do, you know. But the base engagement factor, when you want to get started with that, it's about $100. So small business, if you can't afford to spend $100, all this is a waste of time and just a little bit of entertainment for you anyway. But for small businesses trying to get a foothold on how to live stream broadcast, which is the going thing, this is an easy way to do it. So I'm still a Hangouts on Air fan, and I'm hoping that it'll persist and that they're reinforcing it by giving us event pages back. I don't think Hangouts are going anywhere. I don't think event pages will go anywhere. I think it'll just get better from here. By the way, Susan Joy Schlief, I sent you an invitation to the green room if you can join us, but I want to acknowledge that you're out there commenting, and I appreciate the fact that you showed up. Let's see what you have to say so that we can at least give you some feedback, because you're posting prolifically here. She says, a lot of my followers always end up watching from the YouTube page, not the G Plus event page, because they were not very comfortable with G+. But it was harder for me to check comments in YouTube than in G+. Very good point. One of the reasons that we built the plugin was it's a lot easier from the website to be able to monitor the comments and watch the video and be engaged in the whole thing all at once. So we had to try to refine the experience so we could monitor the comments and the video doesn't go anywhere. And otherwise, we're juggling between tabs and windows and doing all this stuff. And where did this page go and so forth? And it becomes a bit of a hassle. So at least this way, we're self-contained as best we can. And I love event pages, but I think that we're a better engagement experience in my website than in event pages in Google+. So that's one of the things that we're trying to determine today. So let's go back to that. Oh, let's see. Hang on. Susan had a couple comments. Susan says, I bet that Google will have to make that interface work better or they'll start losing G Suite subscribers. That's a good point, you know. I think that the idea for Google, for the G Suite is more business, self-contained concept than it is reaching out and advertising or connecting with the world. It's more of like a my corporate little circle type of thing. So maybe some of them will use that G Suite and be perfectly happy, self-contained. But the ones that want to step out and have an experience in the real world other than their corporate connection, they're all going to have to do as Bill says and get a second Google account. So, but that's possible. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
I think what you'll find is going to happen is that the G Suite is going to be for business. It is not for social media. It is for business meetings and conducting stuff. If you want to be social, you get your personal Google account. If you want to use G Suites to run your business and hold your business meetings and stuff, that's where they're going with this. I mean, all signs are pointing to it, you know. So don't expect G Suites to have all the social stuff that the commercial product, the consumer product's going to have, because as time goes on, my personal feeling, they're going to get further and further apart, not come closer and closer together.
Right.
That's just my, you know, reading of the tea leaves.
Yeah, I would like
Bill's
feedback. Bill's feedback is precious here because he's kind of done his research. But how big a problem, Bill, is it actually to open up a second Google account and just to have that separate? Hang on a second. Have that separate, you know, interaction for the G Suite users. How much of a problem is it really?
Well,
It's not a problem.
No, it's not. And then you can share the calendar of the one that gets the event with the calendar of the one that doesn't, so you constantly know where you are. That one linking alone solves all the problems.
And the accounts are divisible, so you can disconnect your G Suite account from the notifications that you'll be getting from people's events and not have to worry about it, and just have your public account connected for the G Suite event notifications, and you're all set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So
And for me, I mean,
go ahead.
I opened a second account, not that I wanted to use it for anything other than what we do our comment tracking here. So in fairness, my two accounts are public accounts. One's not an enterprise or a G Suite account. But when I log out of my second one, which is comment window, specifically for doing comment tracking here on these events, I still get the notifications. They still get pushed to my screen. So you will get those notifications anyway.
Right.
Now, I can't speak to that being the case in G Suite, but.
And I think that there's an additional issue that we deal with where some people feel spammed by our notifications. And personally, I've never been worried about it because I had a problem initially with notifications up the kazoo. You know, everybody's everything showed up in my Gmail and showed up in my notifications all over the place. But I simply had to go into my own settings for Google Plus and adjust my notification settings, and it controlled all that. Plus the concept of the calendar being bombarded with all these automatic notifications. You know, certainly you're going to have to uncircle or ask to be removed from certain circles if they're a pest, and you don't go to the shows anyway. But the idea is be in the circles that you want to be in so you can see the shows you want to see and take responsibility for your Google Plus account and your connectivity. That's what it's all about. Be connected with what you want to be connected with and ask to be removed from the ones that you don't want to be. You know, people ask to be removed from my circles. And some people still watch my show, but they ask me to be removed from my circles because they're not interested in what was then internet marketing was the whole concept, and it's kind of morphed into something else. But the concept was I was interested in your show or I was not interested in your show. And some people asked me to be removed. There was no problem for me to remove them from a circle. I kept on doing my thing because I only want the people in the circle who want to know what we talk about and what the information that we deliver. That's who I want in my circle. So it's very precise. There's nothing like this in Facebook or any other social media style connectivity. There's nothing like this anywhere. And that's what we got back with event pages. So one of the things Susan was asking was about my the plugin, but let's back up a little, move forward a little bit. She says, that makes sense, Andrew Hatchett. It is a replacement for businesses to use for internal meetings and trainings instead of WebEx. And that's a great thing. And then she also says, can't people remove themselves from a circle? I think we just covered that. Yes, they ask me all the time.
Actually, I don't think they can. Your notifications go out to your circles. Now, just because you have somebody in your circles doesn't mean that they're in yours. Doesn't mean that you're in their circles. Did I say that right, or did I confuse it?
Yeah, but so basically, they ask you to remove them from your circles. I mean,
exactly.
That's the actual process of elimination from the notifications.
There is a way that you can remove yourself from somebody's circle.
Oh, is there?
Yes. All you have to do is block the person.
Okay.
If you're
in
somebody's circle, you block them, it automatically removes you from their circle. Then that doesn't mean that they can't go back later and put you back in.
Right.
But it does remove you from their circle. And you don't get a notification that, they don't know that you're gone, so they would have no reason to go back in to add you again unless they just notice you're gone,
So literally, Andrew, you're saying that you're blocking somebody removes you from the circle itself and not just block the notifications.
Right. Like you and I are in a circle. If I block you and you've got me in a circle, it takes me out of whatever circle you've got me in. Now you can go back in 10 minutes later and add me back in, and there's nothing I can do about it except block you again and get back out. But there is a sneaky way it can be done. Or let me rephrase that. There was a way that you could do it. With the new interface and everything, God only knows.
So in the audience, we just got a little post from Virginia Parsons. And Virginia is one of the last standing Hangouts on Air subscribers and users that's always been devoted to Hangouts on Air. And so she's still around and she's having her own good experience with things. I had to ask her a couple questions regarding the event pages as I was re-engaging with them here. And she's posting out there and says, oh, by the way, my name is not Poland. No, I'm just kidding. She says, "How's everything working?" And I think it's working fine. The tools are not the issue usually, because as much as people want to say, "Here, this tool, it's foolproof, and we've got the formula down, and we've got a diagram for you, and this is the foolproof methodology." Nothing is foolproof if you're delivering a poor message. So, you know, it's all about how you use the tools that makes the difference. But it's going very well, Virginia. Thank you for showing up. I hope you're, if you're watching this, I appreciate you showing up. And back to another question or a statement that Susan was saying. Oh, does your plugin have a way to send invitations or calendar events? And the answer is no. That's something that's on the charts for us to look at. And also we have an associate, who's working on a really, really cool system that may integrate with the VCP plugin that would take care of all this calendar stuff. I mean, I know the calendar issues have always been extensive, and he's working on something that may be solving a huge, huge problem. I was just trying to solve this huge, huge problem of having the events in your website. And so between the two things, we might be coming along just fine. But in the meantime, if someone's on a low budget, Google Plus event pages and the VCP plugin events in your website, I think that's a pretty good solution and pretty good pairing to have invitations controlled, contacts, building circles, build your following, have a good experience of an event in your website. I think that these factors are all fitting together pretty well. So again, it's not just the tools, it's how we use the tools. Bill, you had something to add?
Well, I was just going to say that even today, I mean, when Hangouts moved to live streaming, we kind of lost events with the new Google. They were still in the classic Google, but we lost them in the new Google. We lost all the engagement tools when the Hangouts moved over. And still, there is no perfect solution. But with the return of the event stream, we get back the invitation, the calendar settings, the being able to invite our audience through specific circles. Then with the addition of the VCP plugin, we can now maintain the comments, bring them to our website, which is even better than having them on YouTube or Google. That might change again. I'm not going to say they will, but I would be skeptical to say that they wouldn't. And then, in addition to the other, the other process we use, we can actually bring the comments on stream. Now, it's not as easy as it was at one time where a host could do it all on their own. To bring the comments on stream, you pretty much need a wingman, I think, or most people would. But as far as getting your event out there, contacting your circles, and I think we've seen it already since yesterday, you're putting this event out in an event page, the response is far better than...
Completely. It's been much better. And people are commenting in the comment stream of the event page for the G+ event page test 2/public page. But what I would like to encourage them to do, and I've got the URL posted in the top of the comments on that page. If you click there and go to the website, tell us whether you think it's better or not. And I'm going to go there onto the web page. Let's see. I'll do a quick screen share again and go to my web page of the event itself and show you what I'm seeing there. So I see that Michael Thomas has come over from the event page. Where's my cursor? I've got 222-inch screens now. I lose my cursor sometimes. I go, where the heck is my cursor? So Michael Thomas is commenting prolifically in the web page of Init Mobile, and So I can read all of this stuff there. I really appreciate it, Michael. Thank you, and I'll comment back at you just to confirm the circle. But anyway, the things that are different about this page is the video is much, much bigger. The comment stream isn't much smaller than the other page, but it is streaming live, and you can set it for newest first, as I have done here, and see whatever the newest things are coming in. It's set to refresh automatically, or you can do it manually. And when you refresh manually, you of course have to reset the newest first. And that's something that we haven't been able to fix because of the specific style of comment stream that we're using from Google. And the comment stream is exclusively on Google servers. So we click on refresh and we click on newest first, and we can see what Michael Thomas or whoever's commenting. So what I would like to do as a final test is whoever's watching this this live broadcast, find the link that takes you to the website so you can see what I'm showing here in the screen share, and tell me whether this combination is better than the Google Plus event page. And my hopes are that this is better because of the way it's arranged. And then below the video here, you have room to place a banner and so forth, and that's all set up in the plugin, where you just basically create a WordPress post, and then your banner and all this information and as much information as you want can go into this area below. So I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and stop screen sharing. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
Yeah, I'd like to bring up a comment that Michael Thomas put in there, and that is, there is a setting wheel in my notifications, and I have it in mine as well. And I recommend modifying your settings in your notifications if you don't want an overload of unwanted notifications. And what Michael is talking about is something that we kind of gonna have to figure out for ourselves and figure out the platform we're using, that being Google, and go in and adjust our notifications. I mean, you can set up event notifications so that you receive notification of event, but then you can shut off reminders for the event, and you can shut off updates to the event. So I would almost suggest that people, I mean, you want to leave on updates to the event, because if something changes the time or it gets canceled or something, you may want to get notified of that. But I think people could go in and shut off reminders to the event and do that themselves in their calendar, because the event page is now going to put it on your calendar. You can go into the calendar and you can set up, you know, a reminder for a day before, for 10 minutes before, or you can send up 50 reminders to remind you every 5 minutes if you're that forgetful. But it can all be adjusted within our settings to make it the best experience, so that we're getting notified, but we're not getting spammed, and that kind of thing.
I'd like to add one thing to that too. People who are using event pages, be very, very, very careful of how you invite. Like I've got it's a rule in the user community. I don't mind if you're holding an online event. I don't mind you posting a link to that event, but I do not want you inviting the entire user community, because that sends an invitation to every individual member. You do that twice, people are going to consider you a spammer and won't be coming to your events anyway.
And it may not even be you. It might be 3 members do it.
Right. So
but
you know,
it's your name they see. So
you know, the general rule should be never invite a community to any event ever. You can invite to your circles or post in the community with the owner's permission or whatever, but that's what got events in trouble the first time around. People were misusing it and inviting I invite the Google Plus community. You know, that's 1.2 million people that I've just invited. You know, hello, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I've been there and done that and been on both ends of it, so I know.
Well, I think
another thing. I think another thing people have to kind of maybe consider is going back. I mean, a lot of people haven't used the event page for several months. It might be prudent to go back and kind of just look at your circles a little bit, adjust them. And something that Michael Daniels does is at the bottom of his invitations, he always tells people, if you don't want to receive a notification again from me, please let me know. If you're going to share this to somebody, share it to somebody who you think is going to benefit from it. Don't just share it for the sake of sharing. And I think that's something that maybe people might want to consider when getting back into the Hangout forum and using event pages.
Yeah,
that's really good advice, and I'm going to remind you to remind me of it again, because it's something that I should add to my posts and the comment details of the events. That's very important. I don't want to spam people, and so it's like they're gonna put up with an extra notification or two from me if they like the show. They're gonna say, yeah, that's just Roland. But I do not want to pester people. I do not want to be the person that they avoid once a day or once a week, or have to go out of their way not to participate. You know, that's it. I want their participation to be the option to opt in and make that easy. So
I'm not sure what Google's response would be if you have 450 people in that circle and all of a sudden 1 week 75 of them blocked you. I'm not sure what kind of a message. Well, I mean, Google looks at all of those things.
Yeah. And that gets around to this once again. The tool is not the problem, it's how we use the tool. And so we need to figure out our protocols and our strategies and the processing so that we make it the easiest way possible for people to get in touch with this if they want to, and the easiest way possible for people to participate in what we have to offer without being pestered. Because pestering them is the best way to lose a client before they're a client anyway, so we don't want to do that. We do want to open the door and have it be a two-way street of communication that makes it easy. So one of the things that Michael Thomas said was simplicity is key. You know, making it easy and just very simple for people to participate if they want to, and that's our objective. So I think that we're coming closer to the mark, and I welcome event pages back, and I think I'm very happy with it. So did we cover pretty much everything? Is there anything else that people? Oh yeah, Susan Joy Sleep came over and she's on the website now. So what do you think, Susan? Is the event page better, or is the inexplicable VCP plugin event better? So that's the final question for the people out there. The people who actually came over are Michael and Susan. And if the two of you would give me your opinion of whether you think the event page in my website is a better experience, and whether or not it's easy enough to negotiate, better viewing because of the size of the video, or whether any of those things even matter. And I appreciate you coming over, Susan, to the website and viewing there. I did send you a green room link, but I've noticed that you didn't take me up on that. So anyway, thank you very much. Anything else, you guys have a question or a comment or anything, Bill? Okay.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up today. Thank you, Andrew Hatchett, for being there. Of course, thank you, Bill, and thank you, Roland, for joining us in the green room for this little experiment. I think that overall, Google Plus event pages coming back is a good thing. Remember that it's an old tool, but we are a new era, and it's how you use the tool that makes the difference.
exactly.
Thank you, Andrew. I love having your endorsement on anything that I say. Thank you very much. So this Marketing Smarties special edition on Google Plus event pages. We're going to wrap up now. Thank you very much. We'll see you.